Well, I'm on the farm today, and there's a little bit of a breeze blowing. Clouds are trying to gather, but they're also trying to give way. I'm not sure what's going on here. The weather's, it's probably about 47 to 50 degrees right now. And I think tomorrow the temperature is going to plunge back into the 20s and the teens, and we may get a little precipitation. Creek's in good shape. It's full, it's running clear. So if you do any farming, or you have done farming, or maybe you know a farmer, it's always something to do on the farm. There's always a chore. You know, we've got some trees right here. It's got nothing to do with farming, but there's a widowmaker right there, and that's a tree that needs to come down. Right here is another tree that needs to come down. I'm not sure I would want to cut that. It'll come down on its own. Sometimes you start cutting some of these old trees, you run the risk of stuff falling out of the top, coming down on you, especially with some of these old dead ash trees around here. So if there's a chore to be done on the farm at every turn, and there's always something to do. There's always a piece of equipment that needs fixed or purchased. You know, here's our Vermeer rake tedder, the old New Holland 156. It needs work. This had to be bought. Knock on wood, it's in good shape. So, you know, to make money, you have to spend money in farming, and it's not all about hard labor. There's a money element to it, and somehow or another you got to figure out a way to balance the time you have and the skill that you possess with things that are going to occur on the farm. For example, you may be in a spot where you can do all your repairs yourself. You live on the farm. Maybe maybe you don't have a full-time job. I have a full-time job. Most small farms like what you see around here, the owner has a full-time job and they farm on the side, and that's the only way they can make it pencil out. And when you do pencil it out, the goal is a profit. We're not we're not operating this farm because it's just great fun and we don't play golf. We're operating this farm to generate cash, revenue that we can spend on things that we need on the farm. We're generating cash revenue for just personal income. We don't farm up here and break even. We want money left over after the farm expenses that we can do something with. Maybe buy a car, take a vacation, put it in retirement. You know, things like that. Just the same expectations for income as you would have on a day job. You don't go to work, at the salt mine because you feel like, you just want to work there for free, and breaking even on the farm is working for free. But there are limits. And so some farmers, they'll hire somebody to come in and plant their corn and soybeans, and in the fall they'll hire somebody to come in and harvest it. They can't afford the planting equipment, and they can't afford the harvesting equipment, and even if they could, they don't have time with their day job necessarily to devote to planting or harvesting. So they hire that done. Well, all of that is an expense, and somehow that needs to take place with enough money left over that you're making a profit, and hopefully a decent profit. You're not breaking even. And my view is the goal on the farm unless you're just trying to preserve the land and there's no other way, is you know, don't break even, make money. And so there's some people can do it all, but some people can't, and they have no choice but to farm out certain chores, certain things. And on this farm, the way we approach that with a full-time job is I'm kind of a hack mechanic. You know, I can do things, but I have my limits. You know, you probably won't find me splitting a tractor, you know, and, you know, replacing a clutch. As easy as it might be on some of this older equipment, that's just not my wheelhouse. But on the other hand, we fertilize our own fields, and we sow the grass into them, and we cut and bale it. We do all that ourselves. Sometimes we'll put down some pelletized lime. If it's ag lime, we have it hauled in and put down. We don't have the trucks or the spreader for that. You know, we don't deliver on our hay. People just have to come in and pick up the hay, and you know, we lose some hay sales over that, but fortunately we seem to be able to sell out of hay regardless. And sometimes we have a little carryover, but it seems to work for us. Being a small farm, we're not going to have, you know, tens of thousands of bales of hay either, and that helps. When we talk about selling out, that also helps too, because there's a limit to how much hay we have available. And so in our business plan, we note that there's certain things that we're able to do, and certain things that we're not able to do. So we're willing to take the hit financially, you know, if a tractor has to go in for some heavy repairs. The Massey Ferguson 1105 is in the shop right now for some repairs. And, you know, it's not a job that I want to do. It's not a job I have the shop for or the tools. And, you know, it's just better for us if we farm out those, you know, farm out those kind of things. I'm not sure that it's possible to be a total middleman on a small farm. Maybe it is, but you do have to do certain things yourself. And you can see in our videos, you know, we're busy doing certain chores. I mean, I've been hauling these kicker wagons around and trying to get them staged so I can do a little repair on them in advance of hay season, and then a few other things that are going on. We're staying pretty busy, but yeah, on our farm, if it's a major mechanical repair or even a building, you know, we had somebody build our barn. We specified what it was we wanted and how we wanted it built, but ultimately somebody else built it for us on our dime, and that's okay. It still pencils out for us. And so the point I'm making is, if you feel like you got to farm out a certain portion of your farming, whether it's support in terms of repairs or planting or harvesting, it's not always a bad idea. There's only so much time and money to go around, and if you can make it pencil out and still make a profit, then, you know, that's a pretty good thing to do, or at least I think it is. And sometimes it's better to do what you're good at, in our case baling up hay and selling it, and pay somebody else that's good at what they're good at, you know, maybe to tear a tractor apart, make your money and pay them, and then, you know, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a good repair, and you're freeing yourself up so you can do your own thing. So it kind of begs the question, how do you know, what to keep and what to farm out? How do you know what it is that you ought to be, how you ought to divvy this stuff up if you divvy up any of it? How do you know where that line is in the sand? And, I would suggest that, you just kind of use some common sense and augment that with some experience. So, you can kind of make a judgment and say, well, this is, it's better if I have somebody haul lime and spread it. That's just not practical for me. Or, we need some heavy tillage on our fields this year. We just don't have the equipment to do it. So I'm going to hire it done. And, I used to say push the envelope till it pushes back, and then you'll know where you need to be. And that's true from a time and financial standpoint. And so, as you get into your small farm, especially with a full-time job, things have a way of taking care of themselves, and you'll run out of time, you'll wear yourself out, you'll just be completely exhausted and get burnt out. You'll spend a big pile of money on the other end of the spectrum, letting other people do everything for you. And so somewhere between killing yourself trying to do everything and then spending all the money you make trying to hire everything done, there's a middle ground there somewhere, and you'll find that happy median. And I don't think anybody can tell you where it is. I think you just have to, figure all that out for yourself. And once you do, then I think your farm will it'll click. Things will, it'll be like gears meshing. You'll have a pretty good idea of where you need to be with doing it yourself and hiring it out. And then at some point, you can look at it again. Maybe you'll acquire a piece of equipment and you'll be able to do more yourself, or maybe you'll get rid of a piece of equipment because it's advantageous from a time and financial standpoint, to let somebody else do it. And then you may change your crop. There's different things that you can do to make that farm out or do it all yourself kind of ebb and flow. So when I do these videos, these small farm finance videos, I really have in mind the farmer that does have a full-time day job and a part-time farm, because unless you're just a hobby farmer and gross revenue and profit are secondary, on these small acreage farms, I don't know how you do it full time and pay for the land, pay for your home, save for your retirement, pay for the health insurance. That's the big one. And so I think, you build equity in your farm and over time, and you build up your equipment and you refine your techniques, whether it's doing it all yourself or farming some of it out, in order to strike that balance with the full-time job and the window and the crops that you have, to make. And so, we do hay up here. That's all we do. We used to have cattle and pigs and chickens, and in these mountains of Virginia, cattle are kind of the big, part-time farm operation, and that's kind of what we did for the longest time. But different strokes for different folks. And one of the things we like about the haying is You know, we're not chasing cattle in the road. We're not building fence. You know, we don't have a calf breached when it's being born. There's no veterinary bills. It is labor intensive when the time comes to make square bales of hay, but you know, when it's over, it's over, and we spend our winter kind of collecting the money. The cattle guys, they load them up on a truck and take them to market. And I guess corn and soybeans are the same way, and you know, and so you don't have the hassle of dealing with customers like we do, which is something to factor in your equation. But you know, the thing about having that small farm and keeping it going, you know, with your full-time job, is to find that happy median, and I think you'll thrive, and you'll make money, and you know, it'll be that farming will be the source of a lot of satisfaction that it's really hard to explain. You know, like I've told people before, I never threw a touchdown pass. I never hit a home run to win a ball game when I was a boy. I don't know what it's like for one of these athletes. I don't know what that feels like to have that rush after winning a game. But when you get this old equipment going, you know, and or you get some decent equipment, even if it's new equipment, and that's what pencils out on your farm, or you know, or a mixture of both, and you can raise your cattle and sell them. You can raise your hay and sell it, clear the field. I don't know, when we look at our barn full of hay and the fields clipped off like a lawn, and it's indescribable, the feeling of success that you have, and it makes you want to come back. It makes all the knuckle busting and the pain go away. That's what I tell people. And but you know, striking that balance between, you know, what it is you're going to do yourself, what it is you're going to have somebody else do, and how that balances financially is very important on a small farm, and whether you have or have not a full-time job. So kind of a rambly video, but I've had this on my mind, and I just thought I would make a video of it. Maybe it's helpful for somebody. We'll talk to you later.